Hello and welcome everyone. This is my 25th lecture on Indian history, art and culture. In the last lecture, we had started with Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so before I will proceed, a little bit revision of the earlier part, what we have covered. Okay, we started with Indus Valley civilization. Even before that, we have covered the prehistoric phase. Okay, so again, I am quoting the prominent feature of Indus civilization. As you know, this civilization was indigenous in character. Indigenous means that there is a three type of debate. The first debate, which has been promoted by Gordon Child, even Sir Mackay, even Sir Didi Kosambi, they define that Indus people migrated from Mesopotamia, but this theory has been refuted. The second theory, it states that the Indus people, they get their origination from Aryan. This theory was put forward by Ken Shastri, Pulaskar, etc., but it is not true, because the civilization, as I told you in the last lecture, that the timeline of civilization according to C14 carbon dating method, it is approximate 1315 BCE up to 1750 BCE. Let us understand this civilization from conceptual point of view. Okay, so it means the Aryans came in India. That was the time period 1500 BCE. So if we go with the theory put forward by K.N. Shastri, Pulaskar, etc., this is not true. Even in the Rig Veda, there is a term Hariyupiya. This Hariyupiya, on the basis of this, they identify this term with Hadappa. Moreover, the Indra, the prominent Rig Vedic god, Indra has been termed as Purandhara. Purandhara means destroyer of fort. As you know, Indus civilization was urban in character. Mean these people were living in cities. Okay, even we will cover today in the town planning. The upper part of the town, it was fortified. Means there are some exception in terms of fortification. Okay, upper and the lower town. Even the Dholavira, the city is divided into three prominent part. But if you go with the timeline, there is a gap. It means Aryan theory is further refuted. So, moreover, we can come to the conclusion. The conclusion which has been put forward by Muhammad Rafiq Mughal, the conclusion which has been stated by Amalanand Ghosh and even Romila Thapar, etc. They state that this civilization has emerged as a consequence to the earlier community in the region Kulli, Job, Nal, etc. And then, as the agriculture surplus came into being, okay, the as the trade context became more dominant, this led to the development of urban phase, and this is how this civilization came into being. So, the statement that these people, they were indigenous in character, right? Then we covered excellent town planning, riverine extent of civilization, predominance of secondary economic activity, but along with developed state of agriculture. Multi-class, what I told you mean rich and poor. Okay. Then there were actually four classes. Here, the Varna or caste hierarchy, what we will cover during the Vedic period, that is absent. Okay, multi-ethnic society, Mediterranean are comparatively more. Okay, the civilization is also known in terms of efficient drainage, advanced drainage system. Okay, smaller drain they used to connect to the larger drain, right? And there were slabs, they were covered drainage pattern was being followed. Society was matriarchal. How we came to the conclusion? Because the larger number of mother goddess or figurine have been found. The material, it belonged to terracotta, it belonged to steatite, it belonged to even to the metals. Okay, well developed trade, it defines both internal and external, the flourishing of both internal and external trade. Got the idea? Okay, suppose, let me come to the question part. If you have to choose which one of the following is the most dominant feature of Indus civilization, then you go with the town planning. Getting my point? This was my basic idea. The others are equally important, but if you had to pick one, the most efficient, that is the efficient town planning. Now if you compare it with the contemporary civilization, even Mesopotamian, they were also the civilization was also urban in character, but Indus town planning, it is more, it is technologically more advanced. But as compared to Mesopotamian, they are more technologically advanced in terms of art and craft. But in terms of city planning, in terms of drainage pattern, in terms of planning, this the layout of the cities, Indus people stand highest, right? And even I told you that Indus people, in terms of geographical extension of the civilization, it was comparatively more vast. The area is approximate 12 lakh 6 this 13 lakh square kilometer, right? 12 lakh 66,900 square kilometer mean approximate 13 lakh square kilometer. Okay, now to the next part. Then we covered the nomenclature. Which term is given to this civilization? Indus Valley civilization. Why? Because earlier the concentration of the towns, when the earlier excavation started, it was around to the river Indus. But presently, the maximum concentration of the town, what I told you, it has been found on the Ghaggar Hakra river line, Ghaggar Hakra river system. Getting my point? So that, classification that it was merely confined up to Indus, the river Indus, that is not true, right? This was the maximum concentration, Ghaggar, which this in the part of India, Hakra, that is in part of Pakistan. Okay. And moreover, this is also termed as Saraswati civilization. This is also termed as Meluha. Meluha, what is the this? Meluha term has been used by Sumerian text to identify Indus people. Okay, so even if this civilization is also termed as what? Harappan civilization, as the first excavated site was a Harappa. It was excavated by R.V. Dayaram Sani. Now, even there were certain problems in terms of excavation. Excavation actually is the part of main theory. There are two patterns, that is the horizontal and vertical. Okay, now moving to the date, when you say to the timeline, this is the most accepted one, which is BCE 1315 BCE up to 1715, before Christian era. Okay, BCE, right? Now to the next part. This is clear. Old NCERT even stating 2500 BC 1750. If it is there, you can also go. Okay, so now to the next part. This extension India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Then I told you northern, they are sometime Mandha. Southern, that is Daimabad. Where it is located? It is located in Maharashtra. This eastern, we have already covered Alamgirpur. And the western, it is Sutkagendor. Alamgirpur is in Uttar Pradesh, UP. And Sutkagendor, it is located in Pakistan. This Sutkagendor was also the port city. Balakot, Sutkagendor, Prabhaspatan, Lothal. Lothal in India is a prominent port city of Indus civilization. Now, these keep in mind all these location in Uttar Pradesh. We covered all the prominent sites in Sinoli. Okay, even Alamgirpur, Sinoli. Presently, it was also in news. Okay, in this region of Pakistan, already we have done it. Okay, Afghanistan, Shortogoy, Mundigak, largest city. What is the largest city presently? It is a Rakhi Gadi. You have done it now? Okay. And earlier it was a Mohenjo-daro, where the change after 2015, right? Then the order, that is also important. Latest excavation Khirasara, and where this Khirasara is located? Khirasara is located in Gujarat. Okay. Now to the next part. Now we will discuss the major sites and the major excavations, major discoveries. See, all the information of this civilization is based on excavation, right? As the script is undeciphered. Okay, so all we will discuss only the prominent excavation. First, I will take, that is Harappa. Where is this Harappa? Presently, it is in Pakistan. Okay. Earlier, the name of this district was Montgomery, Sahiwal. Presently, it is Sahiwal. Okay. If you will see some old text, you will say Montgomery is written, but it is in Sahiwal district of Punjab province, where it is in Pakistan, Harappa. Okay. Situated on the bank of river what? Ravi. Ravina in Rig Veda, the name nomenclature for this river, it is termed as Purushni. On the bank of river Ravi, the battle of 10 kings took place, but it was during Vedic period. Okay, here this question was asked that already in your MPSC, that Harappa was situated on the bank of which river. Major finding, it is actually, there are certain the great granary, usually it is identified with Mohenjo-daro, but six rows, two rows of six granaries each. We also find granary, example of efficient granary from Harappa. Then unique stone seal carved with a unicorn and an inscription. It is from Harappa. And main is here is, that is the symmetry, which is H and R37. What is this R37? Actually, this is in a rectangular shape. Okay, 37 skeletons have been found, symmetry. Okay, in H form, in H shape, and in R, in a rectangular shape. That is why it is termed as H and R, right? So now to the next part from and who is related with excavation, that is RB Dayaram Sahani. It was the first excavated place of this civilization, Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahani, in the year 1921. That is why it is termed as a Harappan civilization. Mohenjo-daro, the literal meaning in a Sindhi language. Okay, that is what? That is mound of the dead. Presently, it is located in Larkana district of Sindh province, and where it is in Pakistan. Both is important. Okay, so on the basis of town planning, earlier the archaeologist and the historian, they postulated the view that Harappa and Mohenjo-daro might have been the capital of these civilization, because there is uniformity in terms of town planning and pattern. Harappa, if you will find, that is Mohenjo-daro, and then it is a Kalibanga. Okay, now the excavation it relates to, it was undertaken by Sir R.D. Banerjee. Okay, Rakhal Das Banerjee in the year 1922. Okay, and there from the major findings from Mohenjo-daro, there is evidence of a great bath. This great bath is a it was meant for the spiritual institution. Okay, and moreover, the burnt brick has been used in the formation of great bath. The detail I will take on. Okay, length, breadth, and this depth of this great bath. Then we also find from Mohenjo-daro the mother goddess idol. Okay, I told you, if the question would be, the idol worship in India started pre-Aryan. Yes, it is pre-Aryan. Even before IVC, yes, mother goddess, where Lohanda Nala we find. Okay, so that part already discussed with you. Dancing girl statue, actually this dancing girl, it is a bronze image. Okay, bronze image of a dancing girl. The pattern in which the girl is standing, you will see in the next slides, next to next slides, that will, the pattern in which this dancing girl actually naked, okay, nude dancing girl, the pattern that is known as a tribhanga posture. Okay, now the Pashupati Shiva seal. Okay, that is, now there is a debate regarding on this seal. Okay, it is surrounded by four animals that we will see in image. Okay, on the beneath, two deers are there. On one side the seal is broken. Okay, now there are three. Okay, three important historians, they state that the it belonged to Pashupati, okay, or the Lord Shiva, or it has been identified by Proto Shiva, but some historian deny this. But Sir John Marshall identified it with the Shiva, Lord Shiva, or Pashupati Shiva, or Proto Shiva, right? Okay, then there is evidence of cotton cloth. Cotton, actually, this is a woven cotton clothes. Okay, now the question, cotton, the Indus people, now the cotton was one of the staple crops, okay, for export, which was exported by the Indus people. Okay, even to the earliest production, the credit also goes to the Indus people. But now there are some excavation which defines that even before the beginning of Indus people, the cotton was prevalent. But sometimes they put the question from the existing text of the history. If they put statements like that the Indus were first to produce cotton in the world, and you do not have other contradictory fact, you can go with it. Yes, so yes, it is done. But some research, the latest research point out that even before the Indus people in India, there is evidence of cultivation of cotton, right? Now, to the next part, that is Kali Bangan. Kali Bangan, the term, this Kali Bangan, the literal mean black Bengal. Okay, Black Bengal. This Kali Bangan, actually, it is situated in Rajasthan. Okay, Kali Bangan, the excavation was undertaken by B.B. Lal and Thapar. They were very prominent archaeologists. Okay, in the year 1961, there is evidence of a plowed field, or it is also termed as the evidence of a cultivated field. Okay, then there is finding of wheel of toy cart. There is a fire altar which has been found from Kalimangan. Simultaneously, there is evidence of some camel bones. Okay, now we will discuss whether the Indus people, they were acquainted with camel, they were acquainted with elephant. Keep in mind, they were not acquainted with lion. Okay, neither they had knowledge about iron. Okay, these two things, they were not there. You will say why? Iron in India, na, it started around 1000 BC. Clear? Okay, so Indus people do not have idea about iron. Earlier, when megalithic burial we covered, that was around 1100 BCE up to 500 BCE, that we were covering around southern India, right? Megalithic mean peninsular, the large burial, that was in terms of southern India, megalithic. But in India, when the later Vedic period starts, that was the beginning of iron in India. So at that time in Indus, they were aware of gold, they were aware of silver, okay, they were aware of all prominent precious metal, but they were not aware of iron. Clear? Now, to the next, that is Dholavira. Dholavira, this is located in Gujarat. Dholavira. The literal mean white well. In Gujarati, it is white well. Okay, Dholavira. Actually, it was excavated by R.S. Bisht in the year 1991. Dholavira, there are certain, this city was famous because the city was divided. Okay, the city was divided into three part. Very important, underline this point. Why? Because most of the Indus cities, these are divided into two part: the upper part, which was, and the lower part. The upper part was situated on the west of the lower part. The lower part comparatively had a larger area. Upper part, it is comparatively a fortified structure. Upper part, it is built on a mud brick podium. Okay, upper part, all the prominent structure, that is mean great bath, the conference hall, the greatest granary, it is located in the upper part of the city. On the basis of this observation, now some pointed out that it might be used by elite or a ruling class. But the exception in terms of, now the Indus Valley civilization provides a uniformity in terms of town planning, but in terms of Dholavira, what we find, the city has been divided into three part. Three part mean here is this way. Okay, one, two, and three. This middle part, there is evidence of stadium. Keep in mind, right? Otherwise, in the terms of all the prominent major cities of Indus Valley civilization, they are in three part, but there are some exception. Like at Lothal, there is no division in terms of upper and lower part. Okay, now this one is done. Second, the Dholavira provides as one of the efficient example of the water reservoir system. Very important. Even the water harvesting system, water reservoir system, the evidence comes from Dholavira. Now let us understand. See, the Indus civilization, where this the Harappan culture, Harappan civilization, or this Indus Valley civilization was located, it was primarily a low rainfall area. It means these people, now whether they were using canal for irrigation, there are some evidences, okay, but they were in certain contexts like in Dholavira, they were using the rain flood, okay, for this irrigation purpose. And the storage of water was practiced. And where we get the evidence is undertaken from Dholavira. Clear? So advanced water management system, whether it is evidence of water reservoir system, you have to go with Dholavira. Actually, there are 9 or 10 discoveries from the Dholavira. All I am not taking, keeping in mind the time constraint. Okay, even I have to cover it. I'm lagging behind in covering it. So not an issue. But I won't leave important points. It is slow, but it is good. Okay, no, don't worry. Still, there is time for examination. Okay, major site now the Surkotada. Surkotada. This Surkotada town, it is located in Gujarat. First, you keep in mind Surkotada. It is in Gujarat. Okay, what you would say? Some others, because of my illness, the pandemic is prevailing. You all know this is who gets infected, no one have the idea. So because of this, it was delayed. Now I'm fine, so recovered a lot. So we'll continue, don't worry. Okay, hope so. Again, it is not something like this. Okay, so Kotada, evidence of horse bone, and that is uh, bot burial. Okay, and it is Surkotada is also located where? It is located at Gujarat. And excavation, it belongs to whom? JP Joshi. This thing is very important. GOSHI. Evidence of horse bone. Sometimes they put direct question from where the evidence of horse bone have been found from Harappan civilization. It is from Surkotada. Clear? But keep in mind the Indus civilization or Indus, the Harappan culture, it was not horse centered. It was not horse centered. It has been refuted whether they were aware of the horse or not. The some point out that it might have been the belonging to the later phase, okay, around 2000 BCE. So there is a debate regarding this. But if it comes in examination, you have to go, the civilization was not horse centered, okay. But when it comes to the major finding, then you can go from Mohenjo-daro, from Surkotada, from Lothal, we have found, okay, the evidence of horse. But the archaeologist has and historians have refuted whether they had idea about the horse or not. No, the Rakhi Gadi, it is in Haryana. Okay, this is in Haryana. Rakhi Gadi. It was discovered by Suraj Bhan. Okay, presently, why it is important? It is the largest site of Indus Valley civilization. Earlier, it was a Mohenjo-daro. Now to the next part, that is Roped. Roped, it is in Punjab. Okay, and it was situated on the left bank of river Satluj, and it was discovered by BB Lal. And the excavation, it was undertaken by Yad Vaidi Sharma. So there is evidence of a joint burial. Okay, joint burial, that is from Rupert. Okay, now to the next part. Another is Banawali. Banawali, it is this is the Banawali, again it is in Haryana. Okay, and evidence of both pre-Harappan and Harappan culture. When I state that pre-Harappan, Harappan, pre-Harappan, early Harappan, then to the mature Harappan, then to the late Harappan. What is this? Pre-Harappan. If you quote the pre-Harappan, na, mean actually the time period 7000 BCE up to 3500 BCE. Here we can put the city like Mehergarh. Mehergarh, where we get the earliest evidence of agriculture in India. This is in Pakistan right now, but in India, again, one more site has been found, which is known as a Lahura Deva. So now the this stature of Mehergarh is refuted as the where we can say the first evidence of agriculture. In terms of early Harappan, mean early Harappan or pre-Harappan. Here the time period 3500 BC up to 2600 BCE, before Christian era. Here you can put the tone like Amri. Amri na, here you can put the tone like Kot Diji. These are reflecting, these are giving us the reflection of early Harappan, mature Harappan. Mature Harappan phase, it is approximate 2600 BCE, then to the 1900 BCE. Here, all the major city you can put Mohenjo-daro, you can put Harappa, you can put Kalibangan, you can put Rakhigadi, you can put Lothal, you can put Dholavira. Why I'm writing abbreviation? Because you have you know the full name of these cities right now. So this is the mature phase. Declining phase, late Harappan, that is after 1900 BC. Here we can put the Lothal. Okay, it marks the later stage of evolution in the Harappan period. Okay, now coming to the next part, again to the major city Lothal. Actually, Lothal is in Gujarat. Okay, it is Ahmedabad district of Gujarat. What the question put, that it is situated on which river bank? That is a Bhogwa River. Okay, it was discovered by S.R. Rao in the year 1954. There is evidence of rice husk. Rice husk, the evidence we get from two places. One is Lothal, it is in Gujarat, and the second place, that is Rangpur. This is also in Gujarat. From Lothal, we also get the evidence of a Persian seal. Okay, this is also from Lothal. Then there is evidence of terracotta figurine of a horse, evidence of a painted jar. In this painted jar, you will find there is the reference of one story, the story of a cunning fox. If they will ever ask you in the examination, the story of, I think you all know this cunning fox story, okay, referred in which seal? That is one seal, okay. That is seal, okay. It's one seal of Harappan, this Lothal, where we get the story of this cunning fox, painted jar, bead maker shop. Bead maker shop we get also from Lothal. Another place where we get, that is a Chanhu Daro. Chanhu Daro. This Chanhu Daro, it was situated on the bank of river Indus. Already done this, okay, in the extension of this civilization. Now, if you one line, if you want to go just for a very brief major findings, bronze image of a dancing girl, where we get Mohenjo-daro. That is a bronze image of a what? Dancing girl. It is made of which? It is made of bronze, isn't it? Okay. Lost wax method is used. Okay. Lost wax method, that is lost wax method, that we will cover in mains. In the main your art and architecture, right? The great granary example, it is also from Mohenjo-daro. This greatest granary it is the largest structure at Mohenjo-daro, mound of the dead, presently in Pakistan. Bearded priest. Bearded priest, this image, actually it is made of steatite. What is steatite? Steatite is a soft stone. Okay, it has also been found from Mohenjo-daro. The finding of bullock cart, it is from Chanhu-daro. It means the prevalence of bullock cart, actually it is reflecting what the trade pattern used practiced. Cart, it was a major source of yeah, this internal trade, for use for internal trade, even for the agriculture activity, even for usual voyage. Okay, the toys etc of this has been made, the cart, bullock cart etc have been found. Then to the dockyard, this example we get from Lothal. Okay, and then inscription comprising 10 large sign. It is from Dholavira. Plowed or cultivated field, it is from Kalibanga. And the prominent great bath, it is from Mohon Jodhado. Getting my point? Now, to the next part. That is, sometimes they put the question the major cities and the river bank. Okay, so this is Hadappa. Hadappa, already they have asked in your examination. It was situated on the bank of which river? That is Ravi. Mohenjo-daro, yeah, river Indus. Okay. Lothal in Gujarat on the bank of river Bhogwa. Ropar in Punjab on the bank of river Satluj. Daimabad, that is in Maharashtra on the bank of river Pravra. Daimabad was the southernmost boundary, okay, of this Harappan civilization. Alamgirpur, it was on the bank of river Hindan. Alamgirpur here, okay, easternmost boundary. Mandha is the northernmost boundary, okay. Chinab, Sutkagan Door, southernmost boundary, that is the Sutkagan Door, okay, on the bank of river Dash. Kali Bangan, black Bengal, literal meaning. Where? On the bank of river Ghaggar. And where it is situated in? Yes, Rajasthan. Okay. Now, let us discuss. I think all of you got the idea about this civilization. Now, already I have discussed with you the origin. There are three important theories: first, second, and third, that the origin of Indus civilization. What I told you, what is the present? Already in the beginning, I have given you hint toward all this theory. See, the Mesopotamian origin. Now, the some historians and archaeologists, along with Mortimer Wheeler, Gordon Child, the prominent historian Didi Kosambi, Damodar Dharmanand Kosambi, etc., they point out that the Indus people had migrated from Mesopotamia. Okay, they belonged to the Didi Kosambi states that the both Indus and Mesopotamian people, they belong to common place, and that common place was Mesopotamia. From there, these people migrated to this region because there is uniformity in terms of urban settlement. They both were using script, both were using seals, both were using burnt and unburnt bricks. Okay, both were using pictographic script. So these pattern they state there is a uniformity. Mortimer Wheeler says that there was a migration of the idea of urbanization. He has stated that from Indus people, migration of idea of urbanization from where? From Mesopotamia. Gordon Child said that there was a migration of people. Okay, and Didi Kosambi stated that there was a common place, but this theory is wrong. Why? Let us see in detail Harappan versus Mesopotamian. You will get a great interest here. Here Harappa, here Mesopotamia. Now these people say both were using script. Okay, Harappan script has 400 sign and symbols, 400 approximate. Mesopotamia 900. Harappan script is a undeciphered. We are not able to read it out. But while Mesopotamian script is a deciphered. Getting my point? When you say seal, Harappan seals, they are either square form. Okay, these seals are either you can make it as a quadrilateral. Okay, these are triangular. But while Mesopotamian, these are cylindrical seals. Okay, so this it means it is not. When you say town planning in Harappan town planning, it is efficient. While Mesopotamian, it is very haphazard. Okay, moreover, Mesopotamian na they were using what? Harappa versus again here I'm writing Mesopotamian, they were practicing temple worship. Okay, but temple worship is absent in Harappa. So it means although there was uniformity, but there was a larger difference. So they were not Mesopotamian, right? So this theory stands refuted. Got it? Now to the Aryan origin. The Aryan. What Aryan? The term, it is a linguistic and ethnic term. The Aryan, actually they were the when we say Aryan, they migrated from Central Asia. Okay, the it Aryan doesn't denote any racial connotation. Okay, it is what, it is more of a linguistic, it is more of a ethnic. It was primarily a speech group. They were Sanskrit speaking people, right? So now when we say they, when they came in India, the timeline 1500 BCE. So this, but when you state the Indus people as Aryan, now the K.N. Shastri, Pulaskar, S.R. Rao, they state that the both flourished in the same cultural zone. Okay, both worshipped fire, and the excavation at Bhagwanpura, it states that there was a larger similarity between Harappan and Vedic culture, but there is difference. What different? Script. Aryan, they had no script, right? Actually in the beginning, when you say Aryan, only after 600 BCE na, the Vedas came into written form. Earlier, prior, they were not in written form. So Indus people had well developed script. Aryan at that time, no script. When you say animal worship, cow was very sacred to the Aryans, right? Cow was sacred to the Aryan, while to the Indus or Harappan it was bull, okay, more sacred. While Aryan they were comparatively more pastoral, while Indus they were more urban, right? Now, so this theory stands refuted, although they point out the term Hari UP and Hadappa, but that is not true. Now, Muhammad Rafiq Mughal and Ghosh, they state that the people were more indigenous in character, right? So it means this civilization gradually evolved from small community like what? Kulli, okay, like Job, okay, like Nal, like Quetta, Mundika in the northern part, okay. These village communities were transformed. How these communities, rural communities, were transformed? As there was a surplus, okay, surplus in agriculture. Surplus in agriculture came into being, then these were transformed into urban character. As the transformation came into being, okay, so there was a well developed trade cycle started, and this led to the emergence of well developed civilization in India. So it is more of indigenous. And when we say the end of civilization, it marks the end of the phase of urbanization. Even the civilization came to an end, the culture continued. Getting my point? Now to the next part. Now, moving to the next part, we will take to the town planning of Indus civilization. It was one of the most distinguished feature of this civilization. Okay, the town planning, it was based on grid pattern. Grid pattern means, see here, it was based on like this. It was based on grid pattern, or it was like you have seen the chessboard, no? So there is uniformity in every, this step, no? So it was like this. It was based on grid pattern. It was based on chessboard pattern. Uniformity, it mean, it is stating that they had advanced technological know-how. Okay, the roads were intersecting each other, okay, at 90-degree angle. The largest road evidence we get from where? From Mohenjo-daro, where the length of the road is approximate, the largest, that is 10 meter, okay, 10 to 11 meter. This was known as a Rajpath, okay. Now, the moreover, when we define to the big road, mean they were dividing the whole cities into different rectangular block, and intersecting each other at a 90-degree angle. Now to the next part, the division of the city. The city was divided into two part mean, that is upper part and lower part, okay. If you see how it was, this size, okay, upper and lower part. On the east of the upper part, there was situated the lower town, Lower Ton in terms of geographical area, it was more larger geographical area, okay, large area, okay. Upper Ton, it was fortified. Upper Ton was fortified, okay. Upper Ton fortified. Getting my point? Moreover, this upper Ton, it was built on a raised platform of a mud brick. Raised platform, it is fortified, okay, a raised podium, okay. Moreover, all the important structure like great granary, okay, it is great granary where we covered Mohenjo-daro. Great bath, it is from Mohenjo-daro, etc. Conference hall, these all the prominent structure, they were situated on the upper part, while the lower, it was torn, it was used by working class. One more inference we can draw from this pattern, that there was social inequality was prevailing in society, stratified structure of society, right? Upper part might be used by elite class, it might be used by the ruling class. Is it clear to all of you? Okay. Now, to the next part, let me again give you one more example. If you go with the structure of this Hadappa, if you put here Mohenjo-daro, if you put here Hadappa, if you put here Kalibanga, so there is two tier, division of the town. But if you take to Dholavira, there is exception. What is exception? Although the cities were divided into two part, upper and lower part, Dholavira represent the division of the town into three part. In the middle, there was evidence of a stadium. Getting my point? Again, there is some exception. So in exception, you can quote, first is Dholavira. Dholavira, already I have told you what division of city into three part. Second is Lothal. Lothal, no division. Chanhudro, again there is no division. Okay, Chanhudro and Lothal, there is no division at all, mean no lower and upper town. Getting my point? Moreover, at Chanhudro and Kotdiji, there is no fortification. In exception, continue. Chanhudro and Kotdiji. Kotdiji, there is no, okay, this is a fortification, no fortification. Now you tell me, which part was fortified, lower part or upper part? Upper part was fortified now. Chanhudro, Kotdiji, no fortification. But if you will visit Kalibanga, the finding from Kalibangan and Surkotada, they have, we find that the lower part has also been fortified, okay. Kalibanga and Surkotada. Surkotada, lower part fortified. Lower part only few this exception, but largely there is uniformity in terms of town planning. See here, this is reflecting the upper structure now. If you go with the image, you will find this is built on a raised platform, okay. Burnt bricks have been used, bricks are same, right, even today. This is the Harappan town planning. This is the 3D image. If you find here, this type, the pattern they were following at that time, right? Okay. Now you go with the building, three type of building they were following. What? The first, it was a dwelling house, mean they were used for the residence, okay. Second, it was a public building, and third, it was a public bath. Okay, which material they were using? They were using, largely there is use of a burnt bricks, okay, burnt bricks. Then they were using lime, they were using gypsum, they were using mortar, okay. Lime, gypsum, mortar, it was for the purpose of construction, right? At Kalibanga, there is one exception. What is the exception? At Kalibanga, in the formation of the town, they have used unburnt bricks. Unburnt bricks were at Kalibangan, while in the major part of the city planning at Indus civilization, there is use of what? Burnt bricks. Moreover, the bricks, they were uniform in structure. they were in the ratio of, okay, bricks. They were in the ratio of 4 is to 2 is to 1. 28 into 14 into 7. This was the standard ratio of the bricks at Harappan civilization. Getting my point? Okay. Next, if you would find windows, mind it, they are absent, but ventilators are there. Okay. Moreover, there is a free area between the two horses. Okay. Horses, there is a free area. Every horse we will find bathroom, we will find toilet, we will find well. Okay. Moreover, the along with the main street, it is moving from this north to south direction. Okay. Then there is one more uniformity in terms of the structural aspect, that grid pattern has been followed, which already I have discussed. Okay. Now to the now you will say which material was used on the upper part. On the upper part they have used wooden. So upper part mean wooden. For such a long period it is disappeared. For the lower part it is, that is the use of burnt bricks, right? Moreover, okay, so this is this part. Moreover, they were using what? Advanced drainage pattern. Okay. The small drain it used to connect with the larger drain. Okay. Mean they were keeping in mind the hygienic aspect. Okay. Advanced, this was also one of the peculiar feature. Okay. No, they were covered. Okay, covered. And at Lothal we will find there are steps to that is mean to clean the drainage. Steps have been there are some gaps and the steps have been made. Okay. Now to the next part. Even now moving to within town planning, one more efficient example is the great bath. Great bath, this we have found from Mohenjo-daro. This evidence it is from Mohenjo-daro. Now see here from the image there are steps. Okay, steps to that is this part. It is made of burnt bricks. Okay, then there are side rooms on the this part. Okay, side rooms are there. Okay, for changing and it might be used by priestly class or it might be used by common people. But one thing is clear, that this great bath had some religious institution. It was later with some religious ceremony. Okay. Now along with this was situated on upper part or lower part of the town. It was situated on upper part of the town. Now you will find that while there was pattern was such a uniform, there was a drain. It was connected to different drain. One drain pushing the water in and the another drain flushing out of the water. Okay. On the side of this we will find one well which used to supply the water to this great bath. Right. Now next is great greenery. This example we get from Mohenjo-daro. If you go with what was the purpose of greenery in this civilization, the greeneries they are reflecting agricultural surplus. Okay, agricultural surplus. Moreover, see, the Indus people, the town planning, it was highly efficient. It was based on technological pattern. It was reflecting advanced civil engineering skills. Okay, first they built the, even before that it was such a uniform. First they built the, the layout was built. Okay. Even to the drains were built, then they constructed the other building part. Now to the next part. Okay. Coming to this, if such a wonderful civilization which existed even before the Vedic period, who were the rulers of this civilization is a debate among the historians. Now, let us discuss the debate which was prevailing to the earlier part. Now, there is a lack of unanimity regarding the political condition of the Indus people. If you go with Sir Hunter, Sir Hunter, why there is lack of unanimity? Because script is undeciphered. Script is undeciphered. If you go with Mr. Hunter or Sir Hunter states that democratic form of government was prevailing in Indus people. Okay, Sir Mackay states that some type of representative form of government was prevailing. Sutward Pigot, he states that priest as a ruler, priestly class. Even we have found one image of a bearded priest. The shawl which he's using is a trefoil pattern. Okay, so on the basis of that, Sir Stuart Pigot states that it might be ruled by priestly class, but the popular view, it states that it might be ruled by merchant and traders. So there is a lack of unanimity. Okay, on this lack of unanimity, clear. So mean this is the popular view, merchant and traders. Now, coming to this, the social condition of this civilization, it is a matriarchal form of society. How we get the inference? Because of the larger number of mother goddess figurine. It was divided into four classes. These classes, how we can identify, mean warrior, but keep in mind defensive weapons are very less. Okay, some offensive we have found, but if you go whether they were not warlike people, it was a peaceful civilization. Second class, these were intellectual. Okay, in the third category we can put the trader and merchants are believed to be the ruler of this civilization. And in the fourth category we can put the workers. Okay, so this was usually which has been identified as a the four important classes by the archaeologists and the historians. Right, now to the next part, means of entertainment. We get the chess, we get hunting and fish catching. Chess, okay, hunting, that is fish catching, etc. Okay, now harpoon, there's evidence of some harpoon, etc. Population, the population composition includes, mean it is believed that every city of Harappan, this might have been the approximate population, this 10,000 approximate and more, but the composition states that this they were into four ethnicity, mean Mediterranean, which were comparatively, they were more dominant. Okay, Proto-Australoid, they were also Mongoloid, they were also Alpine. But if you have to state that primarily which race they belong, primarily they belong to Mediterranean. If there would be such question, which race? Composition of this population, racial composition, ethnic composition, right? Okay, this means they belong to Mediterranean comparatively more. Now, if you go with the ornaments now, they were used both by men and women. We have got vanity box, there is evidence of lipstick. Okay, from Chanhudoro, even kajal has been found from even vermilion. Okay, there is jewelry which was bracelet, earring, finger rings, etc. have been found. Okay, cosmetic goods have been found which were used both by men and women. Okay, anklets na, anklet were primarily, they were only used by women's, right? Necklace, anklets, okay, etc. So these evidences, and they have used precious stones for making their ornament. Gold, silver was first time used by whom? Indus people. Getting my point? Okay, next is moving to what now, my one more question. If there would be some statement like whether there was social equity in the society. Now, a script is undeciphered, but city is divided into two parts, na, upper and the lower, mean there was some social inequality prevailing in the society. Getting my point? Okay. Next is, let us discuss the economic condition of these people. Primarily, they were using nine type of crops. Okay, wheat, barley, ragi, rice, etc. Okay, when you say wheat, for the production of wheat, the prominent center, these were Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. While barley, we have get the evidence of barley from Banawali. Okay, while to the rice evidence we get from Lothal and Rangpur. So where the Lothal and Rangpur located? Both are located at Gujarat. So where mean western part of India, the rice production was followed. Okay, barley Banawali. Banawali is where? This is in Haryana. I told you first crop ever to be produced by man. It was barley, wheat, the epicenter Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. How we get the evidence? Because there is a granary, the great granary of Mohenjo-daro, mean used for agricultural surplus, right? Then there is, okay, these people, they were aware of crop rotation, they were aware of the idea of multiple cropping. There is evidence of plowed and cultivated field, where we get that, we get from a Kali Bangan. Okay, Kali Bangan. Animal husbandry, where humped and humpless cattle, bull has been primarily used. You will be surprised, cow, whether they were aware of cow or not, again debate, but when they were aware of bull, so mean they might be aware of cow, but cow, it is not referred, not on seal, not on seal, no figurine, okay, no figurine, no bone, no bone, but still bull, so cow. Cow became more important animal during Vedic period. Aganya, okay, Godhuli, okay. So this is different unit of measurement used on the name of a cow, Janasya Gopa, etc., etc. Now, friends, coming to the next part, that is the horse. This is important. When we say, the question has already been asked, horse. From Surkotada, what we get? The remain of a horse, from bone of a horse. Bone of horse. From where? Surkotada. Where is Surkotada? Gujarat. From Mohenjo-daro, we get the evidence of a horse from superficial level. Superficial level. And from Lothal, what we get? Doubtful terracotta figurine. Doubtful terracotta figurine. But one thing is clear, what they usually put where the bone of a horse have been found, it is from Surkotada. But if they will ask you whether the culture it was a horse centered, it was not horse centered. Horse centered. Horse centered. Clear? Culture was not horse centered. Done. No, to the next part. Tiger, it we get from Sindh region. Elephant from Gujarat region. Were they aware of lion? No. Okay, no, because we do not find an evidence, right? Okay, now bullock cart, it was used. Okay, because evidence Janhudro we have found. Okay, the bull is depicted with large horn. Okay, represented as a unicorn. Bull depicted with large horn, large horn, okay, and termed as what? Unicorn. Okay, unicorn animal, then you have to go with the bull. Okay, now there is moving to the economic. So animal was playing a major role in the economic condition of Harappan civilization. They were the related with both the religious and economic activities. Now transportation, for inland internal, cart was used. For external, mean with the foreign countries, it was boat was used. Boat evidence we get from dockyard evidence, even on the seal, mean for sea route. Sea route, this was followed, while for the land route, so it was followed cart. So the trade was prosperous, and both land route and sea routes were followed. Okay, so mean there was flourishing of both internal and external trade during Indus Valley civilization, but there is no reference of any metallic money. So if metallic money was absent, so what was being followed? Barter system was being followed. So what was the utility of the seal? Seals at the during the time period of Indus people, they were used to authenticate transaction. Okay, these were, okay, every the merchant family, they had their own seal. Okay, but it was not, the seal was, it was not a medium of exchange. No, balance of trade, it was favorable to Indus people. Okay, then to the prominent port Sutkagendor is in Pakistan, Sotkako, Pakistan, Balakot, presently in Pakistan. These were the prominent port city in India. The prominent port city at that time, it is a Lothal. Where is Lothal? It is in a Gujarat. Okay, SRO we covered now. Okay, now to the next part, coming to this export and import. The cotton, it defined the staple crop of the staple export of the Indus people. They were exporting pottery. Which pottery was this similar to Indus people? Black and red ware pottery. Black and red ware pottery. Usually it is a part of mains. You will understand pottery in detail, I will cover. Okay, bead center, where we covered, where production of bead, Chanhudado factory, and also at Lothal they also exported precious stone, they were exporting ivory, they were exporting. Okay, now when you see to the items of import, gold they were importing from Iran, and they were importing from Kolar mine, that is from Karnataka. Okay. Now silver, it is from Iran and it was Afghanistan. Tin, it was from Afghanistan and Iran. Copper, it was from Khetri mine. Khetri mine is in Rajasthan. Okay. Steatite. What do you mean by steatite? Is a soft stone. Steatite, the place is a Devanmori, and Devanmori, it is in Gujarat. So it was then lazuli. Lapis lazuli is again one of the important precious stone. So it was from Central Asia. Badashah, it was from Kashmir. Okay, it was from Central Asia, and also from Kashmir. Okay, when you say the jade here, it was from Pamir. Pamir mean it was from Tibet region, and one is bitumen. Bitumen, it was from Iran. Clear. So these were the important import, the centers of Indus civilization. But one thing you keep in mind, that the balance of trade, okay, the sum total of export and import, balance of trade, it was favorable to Indus. Okay, so it was this part, right? Now, to the chart they were taking from even the Sindh region. Okay, now to the next is religious life. Okay, when we discuss the religious life of this Indus people, one thing is clear, that the no temple worship, there is no structure in Mesopotamia. We get different the temple structure, but the temple worship, there is no temple worship, such structures are absent. There is worship of mother goddess, both in benevolent and furious form. Benevolent, like you Lakshmi, Saraswati, furious Durga, etc. Animal worship, humped bull has been followed. Bird worship, here is dove and pigeon. Okay, now, worship of Pashupati Shiva, it was followed. Pashupati, three-faced god, na, so is surrendered by four animal that we will see in the steel. Okay, worship of fertility cult means here is a phallus worship. Okay, lingam and yoni worship, right? Plant worship, people, etc. It was worshipped. Snake worship, serpent worship is there. Swastika, you know the symbol of swastika, na? This, it is such, presently it is one of the holy symbol which is practiced in Hindu tradition. Okay, even the Hitler, the Nazi party, na, their flag denoting this swastika. So Hitler states that they were true Aryan, and the Nazis are the true Aryan, even the historian Penka, etc. And but if you go with the archaeological evidences, this swastika, it belongs to Indus people. Getting my point? What was the use? Absence of script, it is not clear. Okay, but in Hindu tradition later on it was being followed. Okay, now there is faith in a religious power of amulet and talisman, right? Okay, now Coming now, if the question, they were worshipping only the female goddess? No. So both male and female, okay, male and female deities were worshipped, clear? Okay. Now to the next part, if you go with the weight measurement, okay, there was standardization in terms of weight and measurement. In the lower denomination, they were following binary system. This is important. Binary system they were following. Binary system mean 1 2 8 16 32 64. 1 2 8 16 32 64. Upper denomination they were following decimal system. There is uniformity. Decimal 160, okay, you can 320, 640, 1600, 3200, etc. Clear? So this basic mathematics all you have idea, right? Moreover, 1 feet at that time it was equal to, okay, 33.5 centimeter. 1 cubic was approximate 52.05 centimeter. And which material they were using? Steatite, soft stone, they were using limestone, they were using chert for making their weight and measurement. We have received some ivory scale from Lothal, okay. Simultaneously, there is one bronze scale has been found from Harappa. Now, coming, this part is clear. Standardization in terms of weight and measurement. Now, coming to the seals of this Indus civilization. Okay, the seals of Indus civilization, they were in square form, they were in a rectangular form, they were in quadrilateral form. Okay, quadri quadrilateral form, okay. They, but if I discuss with you, cylindrical seals were used where? Cylindrical seals were used at Mesopotamia. Cylindrical na. If the question would be like this, you have to go with Mesopotamia. Cylindrical seal, then Mesopotamia. Square and main primary, which type? Square type seals at Harappan. Why they were used to? What was the purpose of seal? Not as a mode of transaction, but they were used to authenticate transaction, not for this money purpose, right? Authenticate. Every merchant family had their own seal. Different symbols we find. Okay, we find fish, we find elephant, we find tiger, rhinoceros, etc. Okay, but there is no cow. Keep in mind, no cow. Okay, no horse on the seal, neither cow nor horse. Both these animals become more dominant during Vedic period. Okay. Now, many seals have inscriptions. They, okay. Now, important seal. There is seal. There is depiction. See here in image, unicorn animal. Okay. Then on this side, script has been written. Okay. Now coming to this very important seal. This side, this is Pashupati seal or Pashupati Mahadeva seal. This is the seal. See on this seal, okay, image, okay. On one side, this seal is broken. This Pashupati, it is this seal has been found from Mohenjo-daro. Already you know Mohenjo-daro. What is this? The significance of this seal? There is a person who is sitting. See very closely. This person is sitting in which posture? Posture that is a yogic form. Okay, this is see here, right? Yogic. I'm putting now this yogic form. Okay, three faced. Okay, now more important is surrounded by four animal. Sometimes they ask the sequence of the animal. Okay, on the left side there is tiger and elephant, while left, okay. While on the right side, okay, you will find buffalo and rhinoceros. Buffalo, this you can write down, okay. Buffalo and a rhinoceros on the right side. On the left side, tiger and elephant, okay. Beneath here is to the beneath two deers, okay. This two seal, one side this seal is broken. Okay, now Coming to this seal, okay, mean beneath the stool. Now there is Sir John Marshall state that this seal has been identified as what you can see here, na? The see on my side, where okay, uh, here see where I'm putting the, see this animal, elephant, see here, tiger, this side broken, lion, they were not aware, this side, okay, come to this buffalo, this side you see where I'm putting rhinoceros and buffalo, okay, then two deers on this, okay, then but what is, it has been identified as what, proto Shiva, but there is debate, okay, this is identified as a proto Shiva. Now coming to the is it clear, okay, now if the question would be, in the seal of this indus, primarily in which form, square form, which material, they can put the further question, which material has been used in making the seal, okay, now two three question, okay, if there will be, they will put directly the, mainly it is made of a steatite. Steatite, this is the main material. The seals are also made of a terracotta. What is terracotta? It is a baked clay. Baked clay, they are made of steatite. Steatite means soft stone, terracotta mean these are made of baked clay, okay, then these prominent, okay, approximate further, clear. Which animal is commonly represented, that is unicorn. Unicorn, which is the, you know, the maximum representation, okay. Pashupati Mahadeva seal, proto Shiva from Mohenjo-daro, already cleared to you. Approximate 2500 seals have been found, okay. Most of the seal they have been found from Mohenjo-daro, okay, and there is a depiction of different animals which you all know, even trees, elephants, animals, etc., depicted on seal, right? Now, to the next part, sculpture. Sculpture of Indus people is of higher standard. It is reflecting highly developed structure. It is reflecting a higher degree of workmanship. The material, the stone has been used, terracotta has been used, and metal alloy has been used. When you say stone, there is use of steatite. Like now see this image, this is the image of a bearded priest, okay. This the draping of a shawl, it is following the trefoil pattern, okay. This it means at that time what was being used, cotton was being used. They were first to produce cotton, but now it has been refuted argument, but anyhow, bearded priest, the eyes, these are comparatively half closed, okay. Now mean this priestly, it is a bearded priest, this is the material which is used, this is a steatite, soft stone has been used, okay. Now again it is found from where, Mohenjo-daro. There is one torso which is made of a red sandstone, okay. Then you will find the socket hole here to this side, here to this side, here to this side, okay. Then within the metal sculpture, mean here it is made of bronze, okay, and here we find what, this is a dancing girl, okay, dancing girl, and that is from Mohenjo-daro, this dancing girl, okay. You will find if you put this image, okay, image of this dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro, okay, you will find here bangles. Getting my point? It is a naked image. The posture in which this image is following, this posture is known as a Tribhanga. Tribhanga posture, in which this female figurine is standing, okay. So this part, okay, now this here, this side you can find some amulet or talisman has been used, okay. Now to the Harappan script. See, Harappan script, which method, now coming to this, which method was used for making this sculpture? Lost wax method. Lost wax method. Now, coming to the next part, the script of the Harappan, it is logosyllabic, it is pictographic, it is undeciphered. It is ideographic or logosyllabic in character. You will find in the script there are approximate, okay, Basic sign 64. Okay, total sign it is pictographic. Okay, total sign approximate 400. These are the basic sign. Okay, basic sign, right? And the style which is used, this style is known as a bostra Faden style. Bostra Faden style. What do you mean by Bostra Faden style? Okay, mean here right to left, left to right, then right to left, left to right. Okay, so this mean again in alternative order. And if you will find different signs, first time we got the idea in 1853, but at that time Alexander Cunningham was undertaking excavation, it was not carried out. Finally, 1923, it was established that when the large scale excavation Hadappa, Mohenjo-daro and other cities came into being, it was established that this there was a the civilization had a great script. Okay, script still undeciphered, fish most represented. Okay, and then you can find it. Okay, this is pictographic, this is the idea. Okay, this type of script is there, but still we are not able to read it out. Okay, now moving to the U type. Okay, these are the inverted U type representation, fish most represented. Okay, now coming to the next part, burial practice. They were following three type of burial practices: complete burial, okay, where we find evidence of coffin burial at Hadappa. Even at Hadappa, H symmetry type have been found. R37 type of symmetry, 37 skeletons, okay, in rectangular form shapes have been found. Okay, then coffin used to bury the dead bodies. Okay, and coffin was used to bury the dead bodies, and coffin burial evidence we get from Hadappa. Fractional burial we get from Bahawalpur, and after cremation, the burial practices, this evidence have been found from Surkotada. Joint burial we get from Kalibanga and Lothal. Kalibanga and mean all the prevalent three form of practices even today, they were followed by Indus people, right? Now the decline. When we state the decline of this civilization, it primarily refers to the decline of tendency of urbanization. Urbanization declined, civilization declined, but the culture continued. So it was a long process which continued for more than 600 years. There are different theories defining the decline. Okay, after the decline, the rural life came into being. What happened? Still, it is a debate. Even presently the pandemic is prevalent across the world, despite such a huge development in terms of medicinal aspect, but still we are not able to curtail it. What had happened at that time, it is a debate. There are different theories. External invasion, it is put forward by Gordon Child and Mortimer Wheeler. The term Aryans are barbarian, and here the term Haryupia has been found, in which in Rig Veda, which has been identified as a Hadappa. But this statement, they say that the Aryans were responsible for the decline. 37 skeletons have been found, and they state in the different part. And even from the excavation, there are certain, okay, the in terms of ethnicity there is difference, okay, in terms of skeletons. But the Aryans were, if you put Aryan, the Indus civilization had approximate decline by 1750 BC. Aryans came in India by 1500 BCE. So this statement is a comparatively wrong. Okay, the external invasion theory has been refuted. Flood or inundation, it has been put by Marshall Mackay Assaro, because the area where this civilization was prevalent, it was primarily a low rainfall fed area. So primarily it was situated on the bank of prominent river. It was a riverine civilization. They term it flood as a river. The rivers might have changed the courses. Okay, even we find the evidences at Hadappa, this Mohenjo-daro, which was flooded for 7 times, and other city. But there might have been one reason, but it was not an absolute reason for the decline of all the prominent cities. So largely, which factor mean the multiplicity of factors combined together led to decline, which is termed as ecological imbalance. Mean multiple factor led to decline, and this which is largely regarded. This is largely, accepted. This is largely accepted, although there is debate. Mean multiple factor led to the decline, which has been put forward by fair service, climate stain, oral change. It was put forward by oral stain, administrative inefficiency. It was given by Marshall. Okay. Still, if you go with the continuity of this civilization, we find matriarchal outlook even to the second phase of urbanization in India. It emerged during 600 AD onward. Okay, with the emergence of 16 Mahajana Pada. Okay, even to the still, the if you not only if you discuss these people in totality, their technological advancement, okay, their outlook towards society, peaceful outlook, okay, still in India, even only except Chandigarh and the few cities, they are not based on planned pattern. And at that time, 500 years back, approximate these people, 5,000 years back, approximate mean 4,500 years back, these people were living in cities. Such a, marvelous achievement they had. Now coming to the question part, you got the understanding in detail about this civilization. Now let us discuss some questions, then this chapter would be over. Now these are last year question from MPSC, two, and then also some from UPSC and others we will take. The site Hadappa is located on the bank of which river? You all know it is Ravi. Whose Hadappa? RD Banerjee. H37, R37 symmetry. H type of symmetry, R37. Okay, two rows of six granary each. Okay, and this. Okay, now which of the following animal is not depicted on Harappan seal? Bull, elephant, horse, sheep. Neither horse nor cow. We do not find. Otherwise, these bull, unicorn animal, elephant, sheep, etc. These are depicted. So, what is the answer here? Answer here is horse. Clear? These were last year your MPSC question. This is also MPSC question. From the inscription on seal, two statement, these are the statement. Okay, first statement, inscription on seal, pottery and object, it is clear Indus people did not know reading and writing. This is reading and writing, they did not know, they had knowledge. Okay, they had the script, mean they had the knowledge. This statement is wrong. Getting my point? The use of weight and measures prove that Indus people knew arithmetic. Yes, they knew. So which statement is true? Mean one is incorrect, but two is a correct. Clear? Okay. Now to the next part. The earliest evidence of silver in India is found in the where? Chalcolithic? No. Okay, Vedic Iron Age started. Silver punch marked coin. There were earlier coin to be used in India. Where we get earlier Hadappan, but Hadappan were not aware of iron. Now to the next part. Indus civilization was placed on the banks of rivers. They were now four rivers you are stating, right? Okay, Sindhu mean Indus, Chenab, okay, Jhelum, and then to this Ganges. Okay, so the correct answer from the code is, this is the question for your homework. I can give the answer, but I would try to. Okay, how many of you can solve? You know this was a riverine civilization. Let me again, Sindhu mean, let me put it is Indus. This is your homework. Okay, in the next I will answer this. If you understand this, na, you will understand the extent of the civilization. Ganges, even during the Vedic period, it was not a prominent river. Later on, became a prominent river. Prominent river site I have given you. Okay, please message this answer in your group, and if you would message me, I will. It will my flooded with WhatsApp will be flooded with so many answers. But try by yourself. Next, I will give you. Okay, I think all of you can answer. It is the last it is asked in UPSC and I think in UPPCS. It's a prominent question. Now, which of the following characterizes the Indus people? I think this I will answer for you. Okay. They worshipped great palace and temples. Do you think they were worshipping palace and temple? Worship is absent. They worship both male and temple is not found. Na? Male and female deities, yes. Okay. Worshipping practices, both male and female were found. They employed horse driven chariot in warfare. They had idea about horse? It's a debatable chariot. They were being used by Aryans, not by Indus, right? So which is statement is true? Only two is true. Okay, now coming to the next part. Which of the following is not a Harappan site? This question was asked in UPSC 2019. Think and answer. Chanhudaro, Kotdiji, Sagora, Desalpur. Desalpur, it is again Indus side. Kotdiji, Indus side. Chanhudaro, Saugora is not a indicide. So what is the answer here? Answer is a C. Okay. Now the first cereal used by man was. So what is the answer, my dear? What is the answer? What do you think? Wheat, rice, barley, sorghum. What I told you. What is the answer here? Cereal used by man. Yes, it was barley. I have given you the whole sequence, right? Me used by man mean across the world here, right? Okay, all right. Now which of the following places is famous for prehistoric painting? Would you Where you would go if you know all? Ajanta, Ellora, etc. Later period. Okay, Ajanta during Mauryan, Ellora post Gupta period. Ajanta mean again to the Gupta. Okay, post Gupta, Ellora. Baga cave, Gupta. Amravati, Satavahana. Bhim Bhetka, Bhima. Epic hero in the Mahabharata. Bhimbetka, Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh. Approximate 600 cave painting caves have been found. Okay, and monochromatic and different colors have been used. Okay, red ochre color, white, yellow, green, natural color depiction of. Actually, it represents the five phases. Okay, and earlier hunting scene, birth, dancing scene, etc. And who excavated Bhimbetka? 1958 vs Wakankar. Okay, so I'm fine today, na, so I can speak fluently. When I'm not fine, then difficult for me to continue even classes, right? So the domestication of animal began in India when? Middle Paleolithic period, Upper Paleolithic period, Lower or Mesolithic. It started where? It started Mesolithic age. We have already discussed two prominent places, that is Bagor and Adamgarh, right? So where the earliest evidence of domestication of animal started, right? So this you know na, Bhagor and Adamgarh. Clear? Okay, done. Not to the these were okay. So these were all the prominent discussion of Indus Valley civilization. Thank you. Keep revising. Don't worry. I will sum it up. Okay. Stay safe and